This week, who would win? Inspector Gadget versus Tony Stark. Now, Inspector Gadget did not design his own body. He's not really a genius by any means. He's a detective, a pretty good detective from what I understand, but he's not a he's not a genius by any
Who designs it?
means. I think like the government does. I think the police scientists do, or somebody. There's some kind of like Q-esque character that designed Inspector Gadget's body.
I think they're very. I think they're very similar though. They both they both have resources to get this stuff made. I'm sure. And they both have things, people, AI systems that look out for them when they're doing this stuff.
That's right.
So it's like, now here's what would then be the debate is, which AI system is smarter?
Well, it's interesting. I don't know. Well, I would say that probably Iron Man's AI system is smarter. However, Inspector Gadget's
car.
And I don't know if this is a good thing, or I see scenarios where this may actually be beneficial. Sometimes Inspector Gadget's shit just like goes without him giving any signals.
It doesn't do what it's supposed to do too.
Sometimes, sure. He's still working it out.
Which could confuse Tony Stark's AI because it's like, no, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Interesting. I wonder if that would
like that was supposed to be a boxing glove, not a ball of fire shooting at us. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, I think here's the other thing. So Iron Man, he's got the weapon systems, right? Like he's got missiles and bullets and stuff. And Tony Stark, he puts up his hand and shoots things. But hold on. Let me finish this thought. The thing about Inspector Gadget is that his body literally has everything.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. I'm sure it has guns for one thing, suit. But it also has, like, he could shoot milk out at Tony Stark. Like, gallons and gallons, like a fire hose amount of milk.
And this is what I'm saying. It's like, we know that the Iron Man suit is bulletproof, but is it milk-proof? Like, does he have windshield wipers? I know he could then turn on some, like, X-ray vision shit, but how do we know that Inspector Gadget doesn't have an X-ray proof mode?
Sure. The pure silliness of Inspector Gadget
could outdo the realisticness of Iron Man.
Right.
I kind of think so. And the reason the milk thing is funny to me is because you've seen the G.I. Joe movie with Channing Tatum?
Yeah.
You know when they are like first becoming G.I. Joes and they put them in those suits and they're chasing after Storm Shadow and the Warhead. And
right, they're like running after a car or something?
Yeah. And Storm Shadow goes one-on-one with the one guy, not Channing Tatum, the other guy, that's in the suit, and he throws a bowl of pasta sauce at him, and he's completely blinded. He can't see anything.
That's a good, real world examples, folks, using real world evidence.
Yeah, because the G.I. Joes are definitely real.
Iron Man Tony Stark rather, he does have a very high kind of tolerance for very wacky things.
Yeah,
though.
but also
like
Tony Stark
quickly.
is so arrogant. Like he sees things and he's like, that's not an issue. That's stupid. Like how do you think that could possibly be me? You know what I mean? He would see like something dumb that like he would see.
I think in the case of Inspector Gadget, that may apply.
Like, he would see, Inspector Gadget, like, square up for a fight, and his hand turns into a rolling pin. You know what I mean? And Iron Man would be like, the fuck? So, like, he'd be sitting there, like, not even, like, mask suit up, like, toothpick in his mouth, be like, what are you going to do to me with a rolling pin? Milk.
and then he milks him.
Yeah, and then you attack.
We should probably cut out the phrase, and then he milks him.
I think Tony Stark's arrogance plays a super, super big role in this because it has played a big role in his ability to be Iron Man.
But I guess it all depends on because the second that the milk gets flowing from Inspector Gadget, which Inspector Gadget, he's got a lot of other things. I don't know why we're going with milk as his main weapon.
It pretty much is, as far as I'm concerned.
Perhaps it's all that he needs, though.
Well, it's just a good example of how like
just insane and.
But that's what I mean.
Seemingly,
You know, if they could
yeah.
if they could construct Inspector Gadget and they can put all these things in him, I'm sure if he was like, hey, I got to fight Iron Man in a week, they'd be like, all right, let's throw some turrets in your stomach. You know what I mean? Like they would, if he had a little time to get his kit prepared, his gadgets would his gadgets prepared, I think they could stock him up to beat him. If you're talking about him as he is, I think it takes Tony Stark longer to defeat him because of that arrogance, but I do think ultimately Iron Man would win in Inspector Gadget's current state. If you gave Inspector Gadget, a week, 2 weeks, a month time and said, hey, you have to fight Iron Man on this day, I think that he would be a lot more prepared, a mix of more practical stuff along with even more goofy stuff
to
throw him off.
But the thing is, the practical stuff would probably go haywire, which in Inspector Gadget's case, though, with his track record, yeah, exactly, it could work. Here's the other thing, though. Literally every part of Inspector Gadget's body has some trick up.
Yeah.
So even if Tony Stark is blasting away, and let's say Inspector Gadget becomes even just a head at that point, he's never out.
No.
He's never out.
But this is my thing is,
like, the head is going to have something pop out.
I think Tony Stark in his suit with his AI would easily be able to scan Inspector Gadget and be like, this is a lot of shit, so it's not going to be easy, but we know at the very least what's there. Whereas, when you're watching Iron Man, like every time you see Iron Man, his suit does something different. Like think about the Spider-Man suit alone. Like when he starts figuring out that he can talk to it, and it's like instant kill mode, stuff like that. Like there's
different kinds of webs,
27,000 modes or whatever you can put the suit into, and like that's probably just scratches the surface of what Iron Man's suit can do. And we don't even know.
Right. He does
so
still,
again,
though,
we don't know, and it goes the same way. We don't know everything that Inspector Gadget has to offer. But I just think that unless you were given the time to equip Inspector Gadget with a little bit more deadly force, even though it might take Iron Man a little bit of time to get through the wackiness, I think ultimately he wins. Whereas if you gave Inspector Gadget time to prepare and have more practical weapons for murdering somebody, then he'd probably have a better chance. Again,
I don't know. He's such a klutz, though.
I know. On the flip side, that means you probably have to give Iron Man time to prepare, which means he's probably already re-engineered everything that Inspector Gadget has to offer, and he's figured it all out.
Well,
I mean, the man figured out fucking time travel.
That's true. That's tough to combat.
Yeah.
But also, even though Iron Man's can put so much into one suit, he still has a lot of suits that each kind of do something specific, generally speaking, for like a specific reason. Inspector Gadget, his whole, he's literally got everything.
He's a one-size-fits-all style suit.
Yes, exactly. And it works for him, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's not to his detriment.
Well, that's because he doesn't have, like, a human body. He is a... Yeah. He is a gadget.
He is a gadget.
Yeah.
He's Inspector Gadget.
Yeah. So, I'm going to take Iron Man. I just think that...
Because I think that this fight would either be... it could be like 30 minutes. It could be 15 seconds.
Might not even. It could be like Tony Stark staring down, looking at his phone, cannon to the chest.
But see, cannon to the chest
probably doesn't
is not going to take down Inspector Gadget.
I agree. But I just don't think that. Yeah, I got to take Iron Man in this situation. If you gave, if you gave Inspector Gadget more time to re-engineer his gadgets, not even fix them so they work right, but like mix in a few different ones. Maybe instead of a fake dog barking noise that he can play, like you can play or you could put another gun in there. Like, he's going to need some firepower.
I really want to believe that Inspector Gadget wins this fight. And
I don't think it's as far off as it should be.
No, but I think that the element of surprise cannot be understated. I mean, the thing is, even if Iron Man's got Inspector Gadget dead to rights, all of a sudden skis fly out of his mouth, and he's like, Iron Man's floored again.
Yeah.
I want to believe Inspector Gadget, and I'm gonna pick. Oh God,
I don't think Inspector Gadget. I don't think that's a bad pick because I think that Tony Stark's arrogance is gonna give Inspector Gadget a chance.
I don't know if he kills Iron Man or Tony Stark rather, but I think he wins the fight. I think he at least wins this first battle without a doubt. The first initial battle,
and Tony Stark's got to fly away and re-engineer a plan.
But he's gonna be in bad shape.
All right, well, I'm gonna take Iron Man off the rip.
Okay. I got to go Inspector Gadget.
No, I don't think it's a bad pick. I don't think either one is a bad pick in this case.